we've got Ligero versus Cassius Ohno. Was everything I thought it would be. Absolutely nothing. We had Kaylee Ray versus Xia Li, and I had no idea what to expect, and it didn't matter. We had Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews versus Mustache Mountain, and this should have been awesome. It was extremely underwhelming. Gentlemen, raise your beverages.
No toast for you.
No toast for you.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to the NXT party for episode number 40 of NXT UK. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stefan Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
And tonight our special guest is the Simple Man, Noah Foster. How are you doing, Noah?
I'm doing very well. Good to see you both again. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now the No DQ Predictions champion.
Absolutely.
Reigning and defending.
Team No DQ for
NXT.
NXT team as well for life. So tonight, as previously stated, we have Ligero versus Cassius Ohno, we have Kaylee Ray versus Xia Li, and we have Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster against the Mustache Mountain. Yeah, I said the Mustache Mountain. I think it sounds better.
Yeah.
So, anyway, 3 matches. I think they had room for 10 more minutes and could have put another match in here because it was a 50-minute show. But whatever. To be fair, the main event, the tag team match, had some moments in it. I've got a lot of spot notes, but it was overall underwhelming, and you kind of saw Mustache Mountain winning because they are the big baby faces. In fact, they were the ones with the baby face corner.
Yeah.
So most of the show was kind of predictable, and it was very underwhelming. So let's kick it off with Ligero versus Cassius Ohno. Your thoughts, Noah?
It was a basic opener. Ligero's been on a mixed run. Originally, I thought he was going to be pushed towards the title. He seemed to be on a hot streak in the actual UK. And then he just got jobbed out to Cassius Ohno, who seems to be the newest acquisition to NXT UK. The match was meh.
What about you, Jerry?
Well, with me, I already kind of knew that Cassius Ohno was going to win because, granted, they're going continuity at this point, and since he'll be facing Kushida in his first match this next week on NXT television, it only makes sense that Ohno would actually be going to a good cruiserweight, a little bit somebody more faster and more agile than him to show that he would be able to hang with Kushida. And I just don't see that happening. But for what it was an opening match to an underwhelming audience in Brooklyn, not New York City, as made mention later.
WrestleMania access.
Yeah,
this match was nothing but a match of kicks.
Yes.
So, yeah, you can tell that Cassius Ohno is going to win this match because he's the only one going into it with anything going on.
Yeah.
Ligero, although he got those 2 victories over
Joseph Connors.
Yeah, Connors, he hasn't had anything going on since then.
Nope.
On the other hand, Cassius Ohno is like this new thing. It's
He's
funny.
everywhere.
It's funny. In NXT, he kind of left on the gimmick where he wanted to break all the new toys, but now that he's left and come to NXT UK, he's the new American toy.
Yes.
Over there in Britain. And that's kind of his thing going on for the last several weeks, and he's been winning. And I have no reason to believe that he's going to stop until he meets somebody that he's being built up for, like possibly Walter.
He's already been beaten by Walter, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
You build him up again and then put him in there for the title.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But Ligero,
Especially if you got
nowhere to go off of a win here.
Especially if you got hero shape again.
So I've got several spots actually in this match, mostly with Ligero. Ligero runs off the apron for a cannonball onto Ohno, but Ohno kind of grabs him and rolls through and sends him face first into the side of the ring steps. That was sweet looking.
I didn't know if it was a botch or not, but then they showed the replay, and I'm like, wow, that was actually pretty slick.
That was very slick. And then Ono uses a move that we've seen twice this week. We only named it yesterday on What's NXT, the Indian surfboard.
Yeah.
We saw Aaliyah do it on NXT this week. And then we see, coincidentally, Cassius Ono use it.
Aaliyah did it better.
And coincidentally, he was on that show.
Yeah.
So Cassius has been everywhere. And then, let's see. So Cassius Ono goes for a boot into Ligero, but Ligero catches it. So, like, Cassius is in the corner. And since Ligero grabs his boot, all Cassius can do is, like, use his weight to force Ligero to the mat. So he like, stomps him down, but then goes to stomp on him and misses. Ligero rolls.
Yeah.
Then he goes for a senton, misses. Ligero rolls.
Yep.
Let's see. Then there's some shit, nothing worth noting. But the ending of this match, Ono ends up loosening up Ligero's mask, and he twists it so Ligero can't see. And while Ligero's just sitting there like trying to get his mask straight, he does that rolling elbow to the back of Ligero's head. 1, 2, 3. Cassius Ono.
KO.
Yeah.
I was about to say, he's being this big purveyor of British strong style and old school wrestling and everything. That's just an old school heel tactic from even Mexico days. Just like a loosened up luchador's mask, they get distracted because the mask is pretty much their thing. That's their legacy.
You know why he had to win this? Because he's being built up for Kushida next week.
Really? Because I mentioned that.
Oh, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 My
Man,
point.
and I mean, Ligero, you're right. He had a couple of nice spots. He put out his cold bread into a near fall. He also did sliced bread off the turn post.
That was actually pretty interesting. He tried it in the ring and just didn't work, but he tried it on the outside and went just fine.
Yeah.
So it was an okay match, but pointless. Really pointless.
Man.
And now for something completely different.
Yeah, we get an interview with Jordan Devlin about his match with Walter next week. I think it's next week.
Yep.
It's non-title. So Jordan Devlin is like, he's going to mess up Walter and he's going to hurt him because he doesn't care about the rematch between Walter and Pete Dunne like apparently everybody else does, which is why he's not getting a title match. He's just getting a non-title match. And I'm like, no, you've been being built up for the last 2.5 months so you can get a non-title match against Walter and still lose. That's my thoughts on that. What about you, Jerry?
My mentality is this: any match that Jordan Devlin's in, I get kind of invested in regardless. Even with the Travis Banks feud, even though that went on for entirely too long, I think. I got burnt out. I'm already burnt out on Travis Banks in general, but at the same time, the fact that, like, he had so much time with Devlin, who should have been either going for the title itself again or just made them bring in a mid-card title by now. That he should be at least king of the mid-card there at this point, but he's just kind of floundering, and now he's being fed to Walters next week, more or less.
Then again,
miracles happen. He could win.
maybe that's why it's a non-title match.
Yep.
Or they're using that like they often do
but,
to give you reason to think that maybe Walter will lose somehow.
It's another match in Brooklyn. I doubt they're gonna have Walter drop the match. Jordan Devlin.
Yeah, who do you want looking strong coming out of this? You definitely want the champ looking strong. So, I agree. So after this, we get
Noah's thoughts on
sorry, Noah. Yeah, your thoughts on this?
So basically, he says, after this match, regardless if it's title or non-title, people will think I am literally the most worthy to become champ. But like you said, it's in Brooklyn, so I don't believe this is going to deliver as good as it would if it was in actual United Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
But to hype myself up for this match, because like you said, when it comes to Jordan Devlin, you should be invested. He's one of the hardest working people I can think of on the UK roster that constantly gives you a good match.
Absolutely.
I saw he already had previously 2 bouts with this guy, each one of them sharing a victory. Go look up Over the Top Rope Wrestling, WrestleRama 2, and Scrapomania 5. Incredible 20-minute bouts. I'm hoping to be at least slightly teased for a better match after next week. But I don't see Walter losing.
I could buy into that at least.
Now, if Jordan Devlin pulls off a victory, are we thinking a title match for him? Maybe even before Pete Dunne. Maybe even a triple threat match with him and Pete Dunne and Walter.
If that scenario plays out where Jordan Devlin somehow miraculously pulls off the win through dirty mechanics, count out, you name it, because obviously I don't see him cleanly beating Walter. You're going to keep Walter looking strong. Then yes, I can possibly believe them doing a triple threat match. But NXT UK, for thank God, is not about freaking triple person, multi-people matches when it comes to their damn title. Why the fuck can't Vince McMahon get past that act?
I don't know. I could see a scenario where Pete Dunne comes out and interferes in the match and causes Walter to lose to Jordan Devlin, but then ends up screwing himself because now it's a triple threat and he doesn't have to get pinned or pin anybody in order for the pinfall to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Walter
I see
could
Pete
win
Dunne just
pinning
preparing
Jordan
for his
Devlin.
rematch, which we know is going to happen.
Because for all of these tapings in New York or in
WrestleMania
Brooklyn.
Access, you're right, New York.
we haven't seen Pete Dunne live. We've only seen him in that sort of vignette at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
it was just a video package.
And that
I
could
feel
like-
that could have easily been filmed after Takeover, like he just showered up and got that done.
Well, maybe that's because you don't want to tip your hat that Pete Dunne is there.
Yeah,
Right.
So the crowd isn't chanting for Pete Dunne during the match
yeah.
because they know
Right.
he's there.
You want to try and keep this crowd invested as much as possible.
So up next, we get a video package for The Hunt. That is Jay Melrose, also known as
The primate,
the Primate. And we've got Mike Hitchman, who is...
the wild boar.
There we go, the Wild Boar. Collectively, The Hunt. And pretty good video package.
The hunt continues. It's just them beating those two dudes, and that was it.
Yep.
Yeah, but that video
Part of the
package made
match.
it look epic.
Yeah, it made it look like a not two jobber teams.
What did Andrew McGinnis call them? Different, animalistic, vindictive. I think that about sums them up.
Yeah.
It's a little over the top for these guys at this point, but yeah, okay. So after this, we get a video promo-ish
Yeah.
of Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel.
Never
They
get
are-
sick of those two.
They are out in the
Absolutely.
areas in Access, like around the people, like walking by replica titles, talking about how people can just buy a title now.
Yeah.
And walking
Yeah.
past the rampway where people get photos taken, like they're doing an entrance, and they're like, you know, people don't have to pay their dues to get these entrances and things, and they're talking about all of that meaning so much more to them, and the ring,
It's
Jerry,
sacred.
is sacred.
The mat is sacred.
Yes.
That's the difference between you and us. Back in my day, you had to earn the right to step on the mat. Keyword here is the mat, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Loved it, though.
It was a great promo, and like it's just more and more foreshadowing. This is gonna be so awesome.
So after this,
Thanks for those two.
we get Tony Storm come out for an in-ring promo. And I would almost call this a segment, like a fourth segment, but it really wasn't. She said some stuff a little bit, like she's promoting the division, like she's
Right.
talking about the depth of the women's division on NXT UK, and I'm like, it's pretty shallow if you're just going by the couple of people you're talking about. She gives props to Rhea Ripley in the 3 matches that they've had, where even Jerry called it, where Rhea carried her, or maybe it was Noah that called it. But yeah, it was not a
Well-
great promo, and it was very short, and then she just left.
Again, you got to remember that this is at Access, so it's not going to be treated like a normal NXT UK episode. Again, I feel like this would have been treated a lot better. You would have built more. There probably would have been like an after post beatdown angle. Heck, maybe Jimmy would have turned and came out and beat her down. But she did acknowledge some other names. She acknowledged Zara Brookside. She acknowledged Nina Samuels. She acknowledged Piper Niven. But she sees herself being champ for a long time. But afterwards, we get some foreshadowing, which I think was the best part of this, of who could be her next potential candidate. And these two have met before in ICW. So I'm looking forward to Kaylee Ray versus Toni Storm down the line. And in my opinion, NXT UK, while she may have portrayed it in her promo as shallow, I feel like NXT UK has the strongest, most in-depth women's division. I mean, and potentially Nikki Cross could be part of it. There's a lot of great names in there.
Yeah. I wouldn't be against that in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, I'm over Toni Storm. The girl didn't even know where the hell she was at. She's like, it's great to be back in New York City.
Yeah, botch.
They didn't even change it. They didn't try to change it. They just left it in there.
Yeah.
I'm like Taylor Swift has no idea where she's at right now.
She has enough presence of mind. She got rid of the bangs. But that could be temporary. They're still there.
But pretty much on her way back up the ramp, doing her celebrating and whatnot, Kaylee Ray told her, "You forgot about me on that list."
Yeah, but this was almost a nothing because Kaylee Ray was coming out for match number 2 on the card. Kaylee Ray versus, I think we thought it was Xia Brookside.
It actually said it on the caption before we started, Xia Brookside, and it was actually Xia Lee. I was like, oh, this is a little switcheroo here.
Different Xia.
Granted, the results are going to be the same, but 2 Xias don't make a right.
Yeah, maybe they should have just left Xia Lee on NXT. But
she tried. I mean, she pulled off some Bruce Lee, since we're keeping with the E's here. She pulled off some Bruce Lee looking type antics with the roundhouse kick, forward kick combination. She got her with what I thought was like a Nakamura kick, where she did one roundhouse kick and then caught her afterwards. But we all pretty much saw who was going to win here. Kaylee Ray's being billed as the stronger competitor. I feel like she's being billed towards the NXT UK Women's title picture because she beats her with Widow's Peak.
you say Widow's Peak, but I have one note for this match, and that is the finish. And it wasn't a Widow's Peak; it was a gory bomb. She just followed through with it like it was a flapjack or a pancake.
Right. They're just calling it that.
The Widow's Peak was a gory neck breaker.
Yeah, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was just a gory bomb, a magnificent gory bomb, magnificent. But only note I've got here: this match was nothing special.
No.
If anything, it was just meant for a stare down between Kaylee Ray and Toni Storm, pretty much.
Again, we're seeing foreshadowing where they're going. I think with the NXT UK Women's title picture. I mean, Kaylee Ray, she's faced Toni Storm before, so it wouldn't surprise me. They faced each other back in Target Wrestling. They faced each other back in ICW. So again, there's a lot of history there too. And as you know, NXT UK, it falls off storylines and matches from their partner promotions that they promote and let their talent still work with.
That's what I've really dug about this product so far is I'm seeing all these different wrestlers from NXT UK still be able to go back to their stomping grounds, still actually able to show people what they're able to do. And I think that's also because the deals that they have with Triple H and whatnot is the fact that they're able to do this. That way they can not really poach talent as much as coach talent. They're able to actually bring them, start priming these guys and bring them up into the NXT UK brand, which I'm totally okay with. They need to build.
This is all PR and public relations with the other companies, because they are going to have to consistently get talent from other places to fill spots in NXT UK.
Yeah.
And it's better to have a working relationship with a handful of companies than have a bad relationship with all of them.
Yes.
Exactly.
This ain't
everybody comparable.
Yeah, this ain't the territory days where people are battling for supremacy at this point. It's pretty much helping each other out at this point.
Because don't get it wrong, the guys and gals from NXT UK can go and work in other places, but only certain ones.
Yeah.
Correct.
Progress.
They're exclusive to those brands, which makes sense. That's fine.
Because they're still working with talent under those brands. Oh, by the way, one spot I did think Kaylee Ray, I guess is the most unique thing right now we're seeing from her in NXT UK, the knuckles in the rib cage.
The nuggy.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
I liked it better with the scratching from
Jenny,
yes. Well, Jenny
we have no
does.
idea what's next for her. Ever since interviewed her and she walked away.
Jenny does everything better.
So after this, we get an interview with Piper Niven, and this was, I guess, at a booth somewhere in Access, and she's doing signings, and the cameraman is getting her to sign something and answer some questions. mostly about Rhea Ripley.
Cameraman's a fan.
And she basically just says Rhea Ripley's a bully and she doesn't get on well with bullies. There we go.
And let's see how Rhea can handle someone that is not so easy to bully.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's been...
She looked like a librarian.
That's been on the nose since the beginning of this. From the time when we saw Piper Niven debut, it was right after Rhea Ripley had said that she was the dominant female.
Correct.
Well, now that's being challenged by Piper Niven.
Yeah.
Obviously, so anyway. Yeah, it's all of this has been on the nose. I'm just waiting on the match.
Yeah.
I just want to see the match. So after this, let's see, we've got the cameras in the backstage somehow are noticing some ruckus. They go down the hallway, and there's Zach Gibson and James Drake throwing the gear of Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams out of the locker room into the hallway and saying they don't deserve anything and they can get dressed in the fucking hallway.
Yep.
Corridor.
Yes.
Whatever. This was mildly amusing to me.
Basically, they're just building it so they don't belong. They're the underdogs. It really means one thing and one thing alone. They're going to pull a massive upset on the Grizzled Young Veterans. They're going to win the belts, and they're going to be transitional champions at some point. We can only hope that it's Eichner and Bartel who go out for revenge for that humiliating loss from them that last time.
Okay. If they win the titles just for Eichner and Bartel to take the titles off of them, I'm okay with that. It doesn't happen just like that. I am so not okay with Amir Jordan.
You've always told me you're okay with, like, you know, a transitional champion as long as it makes sense. If Zach Gibson, like, plays up an injury or something, like his eardrum bursts again, or maybe like his toe injury day has, and like they capitalize and get the belts, I see that, and then Amir Jordan gets cocky. They introduce some sort of open challenge. Eichner and Bartel, being super serious, wanting all the comedy out of the ring, goes in there, destroys them both. Like, especially Jordan. Kenny Williams will get taken out, but Jordan will get most of the beating, and they'll walk away with the belts.
And their revenge for the loss.
Yes. And that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, quit making so much goddamn sense. Let's move on. We get the announcement. I guess so. Next week, Walter versus Jordan Devlin. Just as a reminder, because I mean, seriously, I expect to enjoy that match at the very least.
Oh, it's gonna be enjoyable.
He's gonna get shot.
And we are on to the main event. Yeah, because there's only 3 matches. So we've got Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster versus Mustache Mountain. That's Trent Seven and Tyler Bate. And this match
had a lot of M's in it.
Yeah. Along with a lot of M's, it had high expectations considering who we were talking about. At the very least, I wanted to see Mark Andrews and
Flash Morgan Webster.
No. Mark Andrews and Tyler Bate lock up. And do some shit. And I used to think that Mandrews and Bate looked alike for some reason. And then I see them in the ring right next to each other, and they literally look like the not the Avenger movie, but the
Captain America.
Yeah, they look like the Captain America movie, the before and after. The tiny guy and then the muscly guy. Like it's night and day when you see them next to each other. So anyway, just a thought. What did you think about this match, Noah?
Well, what can you expect with these 4 competitors? Where this match really has no story, it's just build off mutual respect. And Mustache Mountain really needed the win here after coming off the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and losing in that. I expected a great match. I expected some fun spots. I expected some fun tag team chemistry between both teams. I expected some unique combinations, and I got all that. This match was okay, but not nothing to truly go home and remember about. There were some good spots here, which I'm sure you'll cover. And as far as what's next for these 2 teams, I just see Mustache Mountain continuing their way towards the NXT UK Tag Team Championships. However that might be.
You talk a lot about expectations, and I have to wonder after this match how NXT UK expects us at all to believe that Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews are a viable tag team. These guys.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't understand at this point. I feel like, again, they should split up, but the fact he wasn't wearing the black and white Union Jack outfit tells me they aren't planning to turn Flash Morgan Webster heel, though I still think he should be. At this point, I don't think they should be a team. They keep getting beat.
Yeah, their win-loss record is fucking shitty. What do you think about the main event, Jerry?
It was what it was. Basically, it was just two teams. It was a showcase match, is what it was. They took They took two teams that, like one of those last shows that we saw for the Takeover Dark matches with Street Profits and Eichner and Bartel. This was a do or die situation because Mustache Mountain's been on decline, and Flash Morgan Webster and Mandrew, they haven't even ascended in any way, shape, or form.
They classify legitimately as a jobber tag team.
Yeah,
yes.
They're a lot of flash in the pan. They really are. Flash Morgan Webster, still not impressing me. Mandrew, fantastic match with him and Noam Dar that last week. That was excellent.
You know one thing I loved about this match?
What's that?
We didn't have to see the Stun Dog Millionaire.
The Stun Dog Millionaire. Nowhere do we see in this match.
They knew better than to try and suplex him.
Finally, somebody caught on to that.
General rule number 1: somebody finally listened.
Our bet was that he was going to hit it on both of them.
Yeah,
they were going to go.
Like they were going for a double suplex, and he was going to get the hot tag off of a Slumdog Millionaire or Slumdog Millionaire to both of them. But we didn't see that even. We saw a bunch of what we usually see out of Mustache Mountain. We saw one sick maneuver out of Mandrew and Flash Morgan Webster that caused attention.
Oh, one specifically.
Yeah, one specifically sick move.
Tag team offense, yeah.
Yes. And otherwise, there wasn't really a lot going on in this match. The crowd was feeling it for a little bit, but that's only because I think they were programmed to chant a certain way just from what they've seen on the British broadcast. Otherwise, this was not, like he said, nothing really to write home about.
Well,
yeah, you got all the greatest hits from Mustache Mountain. You got Tyler Bate once again being the star of the show because everybody loves Tyler Bate, and his strength is ridiculous. Airplane spin, bop and bang, airplane spin, swing combination. He had the springboard, uppercut, lariat, half-and-half combination with his partner, Trent Seven. And yeah, besides the one spot that Flash Morgan Webster did the cannonball to break up the pin, and then Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews did the knee strike hurricanrana combination for the quick roll-up. There wasn't really much else to say. We saw him win with the Burning Hammer finish for Mustache Mountain. Congrats to them, they needed it. And it was expected, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, it stole my gimmick.
What?
Sorry.
I actually have far more breakdowns than that, far more points of high spots. But
I know. That's why I leave that to you.
What you need to notice in this match is that it is baby faces versus baby faces.
Yes.
Exactly.
So who gets the baby face corner? That is the ones that are facing hard camera.
Yeah.
Right.
Over in the left-hand far corner. And that was Mustache Mountain. So Mustache Mountain with the victory. Not too fucking surprising.
No.
Just saying. It was the first thing I noticed in this whole match. And let's see, my first spot here is Seven with the fireman's carry. He's over in the corner. He drops him forward. And then Trent Seven comes off the top rope. And this is a move we've seen before, where he kind of trips over Trent Seven's shoulders into the senton. So I still think that's pretty cool. I love the spots where Mandrews slides and like ducks under shit. So like the first one, he ducks under the 7-star lariat. Oh no, this is actual duck. Never mind. He actually ducks under the 7-star lariat, and he gets the hot tag to Flash Morgan, who hits a high knee that was pretty sick. And then a springboard drop kick to Bate, knocking him off the apron from the corner. And then a springboard moonsault to Seven for a near fall. So, I mean, there was some stuff from Flash Morgan Webster, I'm just saying.
Well, that first knee to Trent Seven where it just kind of knocked Trent Seven up straight ways and like him falling on his ass. That was actually pretty funny. I'll give him that much.
I do like when Trent Seven gets like knocked out and all he does is just straight up fall over. So
it's very Ric Flair. It's very Ric Flair floppish,
Yeah.
and I like that.
Exactly, except he doesn't fall backwards.
So we have some more match, and then Bate and Mark Andrews both get hot tags. Bate hits the running uppercut in the corner to Mark, and then stacks them both up in the corner and hits the running uppercut, European uppercut, by the way. And then he picks up Flash Morgan Webster for the airplane, and then drops Mandrews and picks him up for the big swing, and does them both at the same time.
The team combination.
You had said. Let's see, Flash Morgan goes for a suicida outside, but Bate catches him, and then does the airplane swing outside. And then he gets back in the ring, hits an exploder onto Mandrews, and a running shooting star press for the near fall. And then this is where Mandrews ducks and slides under the double clothesline from both of Mustache Mountain, and then gets up and does the double backwards overhead kick.
Double Pele kick. I
Always
love
sweet.
how both men look at it. They see he's like, and he stops for a second, and they don't see it coming. He just hits you. Because if you look at it, it's like a moment where Mark Andrews really just pauses, bracing that, and then prepping for the move. I feel like you could dodge it.
You should.
They see it coming enough for an oh no face. I saw the oh no faces.
That's what I mean.
Then they roll to the outside off of that move, and we get the tag and see Stereo Tope Con Heroes by Mandrews and Webster over the top rope to the outside. And then they get back in the ring, and Mandrews hits an assisted 450 onto 7 for the near fall. So they had several near falls in this match. And then Trent is chopping both guys like crazy. And then he goes to chop Flash Morgan Webster, and he ducks. And so he grabs him, and he throws him into Mandrews in a DDT grab, and then chops Mandrews and takes him down and drops Flash Morgan with the DDT off of Mandrews.
That was clever.
I've seen that play out with better finishes than a chop. I think Jerry moaned about the chop doing that. It's a powerful chop, though. It really is. Anyway, so we see the what we call the Peter Pan, where Tyler Bate springs off of the top rope with his arms up, and then comes back and hits the lariat into the Dragon Suplex by Trent Seven. But that gets broken up by Flash Morgan Webster jumping off the top rope into, you said a cannonball, I would say a swanton. Either way, his legs basically break up the pin.
Yep.
And then we have the breakdown.
This is not bad.
We've got Mandrews and Tyler Bate. This is what I want to see. And end up getting a blind tag to Flash Morgan Webster. And Mandrews slides under a lariat from Bate and turns around, hits him with an enziguri, which drops, well, not drops him, but
rocks him.
Rocks him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cuckoo.
Yeah.
And then he sets him up, and Flash Morgan goes off the ropes, and he jumps on his back and does an inverted Rana spike off of Flash Morgan, high kneeing him in the face. And that woke
me up.
That was the moment of the match for me.
That was their last near fall. After this, basically, Mustache Mountain take over, because we get a tag to Trent Seven. He hits a Dragon Suplex, I believe, to Mandrews that turns him fucking inside out.
Yep.
And then we get the knee-assisted Burning Hammer for the pinfall. And
that's it.
Yeah, Trent Seven runs over to grab Mark Andrews, who's trying to break up the pinfall, and he just
hugs him on the ground.
Him. He full body and leg hugs him, just wraps him up. I was like, yeah, that's
like a big bear.
That's pretty forceful there. Anyway, so that wraps up the main event. Underwhelming. I knew who was going to win, and it didn't really matter either way. But again, how do they expect us to take Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews seriously as a tag team after this? Like, you got to break them up. It's time.
Oh, and
They're no good together.
It really didn't help that there was like no frustrations, no anger, or anything coming out of either team at the end of the match. It was just them shaking hands, saying, more or less, good game, good game.
Well, like you said, guys, it was more of a showcase match, which again, based on the circumstances, the setup, and the overall arena, it really was.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of this episode of NXT UK, episode 40. Whew, 40 episodes in, man. It's weird that it hasn't been 40 weeks, though, because of all those double episodes, but whatevs.
At least they don't do that anymore.
So here on the NXT party, we rate the main event using good old NXT. And as our special guest, Noah, you get to go first. Out of 5 spots of NXT, where do you rate this main event?
Well, unfortunately, there was no real story, I feel, going into this. This was just literally to show you what NXT UK is all about, the generic line used by Big Joseph. There was one key spot that really surprised me that I haven't seen before. Otherwise, everything else was typical, and you got the greatest hits, pretty much the spots you would expect. I already knew who was going to win, but all 4 of these men, they put on at least a fun little match. It was definitely average. 3.25 out of 5 for me.
Okay. Jerry?
I'm going definitely just middle of the road. I'm going to probably just go with a 3. Because there wasn't really anything special going on in the match, naturally. And there was so much... I'm all for suspending believability in the ring and whatnot, especially with matches. But at the same time, at one point when Tyler Bate was spinning with Flash Morgan Webster on his shoulders, Flash Morgan Webster is locked in tight. I'm like, why would you even just roll out of it or try to roll out of it? You're just hanging in there for the ride. And then there was that DDT portion where I groaned. I'm like, this is just too much. Like, there's supposed to be, this is almost a comedy match. And granted, it's supposed to be a showcase match. It's supposed to be entertaining. But for me, it really didn't show me anything new. And it didn't really entertain me really that much. I'm actually kind of being generous with a 3, I believe. So...
Well, I was going to give it a 3. I thought that was fairly generous because there was no story in this match. And they could have had a story if Mustache Mountain had lost. Just the looks on their faces at the end of the show could have
that would have been
story.
Fantastic.
There's your story.
Where you don't even have to insinuate a breakup or anything. You just put the looks on their face where could happen, but then don't mention it again, and then just let that be something that can fester until you actually do it.
Because Trent Seven at this point is still coming off of a defeat by Joe Coffey as well, who was pretty much calling him dead weight, and that would have just even more solidified it. I mean, Mark Andrew and Flash Morgan Webster, for all accounts, are one of the lowest ranked teams right now in NXT UK. Even Melrose and fucking Mike Hitchman have more steam going for them than Mustache Mountain or Mandrew and Flash Morgan Webster did. So if Mustache Mountain were to lose to them, even if it was by like a quick roll up or a miscalculation, that would have bumped them down even further, and that would have been a better story than what we got.
Even with the finish we had, you could have had Flash Morgan Webster super kick Mandrews.
Yeah.
You could have had Flash turn finally.
Or hit him with the Union Jack helmet that he carries out to the ring.
Hit him in the gut with it.
Yes!
Just something. Turn him heel, because they have no more credibility at all. I think Mandrews has credibility as a single star. But as a tag team, these guys might as well be done. So you should have just done that.
In Brooklyn, no less. Break them up.
That might have brought it up to a 4 just because that would have been awesome. But as it stands, I'm actually going to give it a 2 3/4 because I'm going to take a quarter off for a terrible show.
Yeah.
I normally add a quarter for a great show. You know, when a main event comes off the back of a really great hour. This came off the back of a really terrible show.
We even
pay for it.
We even made note at the beginning, before the match even started, it's like they better be showing us something very, very special.
So I'm going to lowball it tonight. 2 3/4 is best.
With these access events, you can only hope for so much.
I don't think it was the crowd's fault this time, though.
No.
Because the crowd seemed to be into it. Now, granted, there was some fault there. The crowd chanted NXT instead of UK, but at least they were chanting something. Crowd was into this.
Yeah.
It was just the product that we were given.
And by the way, there were moments where this was so quiet, this show and this forecast, you can actually hear people in the background just walking around talking, and because you really know this is inside just a section of a building during a fan appreciation type event. So, you know.
So that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT party. And where can we find you, Noah?
Well, let's see. First off, guys, always a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. So if you want to find me and talk anything wrestling, WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Impact, Independent Wrestling, support the independent wrestling folks, AEW, and anything else beyond in between, you can look me up on Twitter, nodq.com/Noah, take you to my Twitter page. Otherwise, look at my simple YouTube channel here at youtube.com/users/NoahFox210. You'll find predictions for pay-per-views beyond WWE, and you'll also find my weekly series I host, encouraged by these two gentlemen right here, on the Cruiserweight division called 205 Live Matters, where I review every episode each week and talk everything Cruiserweights and 205 Live with great people. Hey, y'all can join if you want, or sometimes with myself, it all depends. And also, just, keep following these guys. Keep following Aftermatch Wrestling, okay? They do an incredible job with both NXT and NXT UK, and they also offer exclusive fantasy booking and extra content, too. Help them reach their goal of 100, folks. You'll be in for something really special, already beyond what they have now. And, of course, follow NoDQ. That's what we all work with.
Yep.
So go buy a shirt, nodq.com/shirts. Follow the channel if you're on YouTube. Follow them on Twitter. Find it on Facebook. Go to nodq.com. Interact with people, and there's comments for everything. And you'll find everything there. Polls, reviews, chats, sexy female pictures, and everything else in between. And go check out our listening spot by #NoDQ. And stay tuned for me and these two gentlemen right here. Will be coming back where I'll be defending my title against the rest of Team NoDQ for Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going down that easily. And as always, I'd like to close. Support your wrestling outlets, both big and small, and let's keep growing this wrestling community together. Simple as that. And I love waffles.
Yes, go to nodq.com/shirts, and that'll take you to the merch page, and you can get shirts like Cindy's. I've got a whole bunch of NoDQ shirts. I think I've got one for everybody. As soon as Noah gets a shirt, I'll get one of his. I can't believe you don't have a shirt yet.
I'm shocked myself. So,
but you can find Cindy, the shirt that I'm wearing. You can find her. You can find Cindy at nodq.com/Cindy, CINDY. And you can find me at nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to find me on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find this gentleman on Twitter
at NoDQ General, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR, exclamation point. Got Stefan on here as the administrator and Noah as a moderator. Get a hold of us. We'll get you added in there. We have memes going around, different discussions, different themes on a daily basis now. It's actually really growing at a pleasant rate. I think we're at like 80 people now, which is pretty awesome.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's been fun. It's been a cool ride so far.
So if you don't have Twitter and you don't have Facebook, you can let us know down in the comments how we can find you. Email works just fine. If you would like to join us up on the big screen for a future episode of the NXT party, come have a spot of NXT with us and help us review a future episode of NXT UK.
I polished his belt.
Thank you.
Yes, we are always looking to expand #NoDQNXT.
Yes.
So if you like this video, click the like button that is underneath me. And if you like all of our videos, you should probably click the subscribe button. That's over there underneath Jerry somewhere.
It's right around this area.
And over there next to that, we have the share button. And that is our favorite button because we are just trying to talk to you about wrestling. And you have friends that watch wrestling, probably. So share us with your friends. I won't go into the spiel today, but you can pause the video and go share it if you want.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
And while you're down there, if you want to click and find Aftermatch Wrestling, that is our channel, where these videos go up about a half a day early. We've got some exclusive content. We've got the Rated R Report. We'll be probably keeping Noah on after this to do a new episode of that. That's just where we bullshit about wrestling for a while.
Yeah.
Some stuff. Some fun stuff. One time we talked about movies. Pauly Shore movies and Ernest movies, to be specific.
Yeah.
That was fun. We also have the Rated R Remix, where we do fantasy booking. We had an Aftermatch Presents where I had a brief conversation with Colin Andrew, sort of a profile, you know, how he got into wrestling, shit like that. Really fun. So find us on Aftermatch. That's all one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. I think that's all the plugs.
If we reach 100 subscribers, we'll start doing our What's NXT show that we usually do the night prior to this live.
Live.
Without a net.
Like,
without edits.
At like 1 a.m. on a Thursday morning.
Yes.
Join us, won't you?
That may even change too.
But actually, join us, won't you? Because whenever we do it, whenever we end up doing it, we want you to click the bell icon when you subscribe, so to let you know when we go live. We want you to come in and ask us questions so we can answer your questions at the end of the show. That is the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now we have gotten through all the plugs. For the simple man, Noah Foster, for the General, Jerry Slaughter, I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stefan Osborne. Thanks for having a spot of NXT with us, and we will see you in NXT time.
Cheerio.
Have a good night, folks.